Hi, welcome to Numici. If your work involves reading a ton of documents, you're going to love Numici. When you log into Numici for the first time, you will see this Get Numici extension button. The Numici Chrome extension is required for you to be able to work with web pages. The extension is installed from the Google Chrome store. Just press the button and follow the prompts. That's it, you're done. Now you can highlight and comment on web pages using Numici. In Numici, a project's workspace is called a Taskspace. A Taskspace contains a project's input documents such as web pages, PDF files, emails, and web clips. We will look at these things in detail later. For now, let's just go and create one. We give it a name. For now, ignore the next two field tickers and default folders. You can also specify the collaborators when you create a task space, but since this is for now a one-person project, let's just go ahead and hit create. And here we have our task space. It's empty for now. My project is on software application development tools. I've done the relevant Google searches and have many documents to read. Let's get started. The first thing is to ensure that the Numici Chrome extension is enabled, as well as to make sure you're in the right task space. If not, use this drop down and select the right one. Now I add this web page to my task space by using this plus button in the side pane. Once that's done, I can start reading. As I read, I come across important snippets of text which I wish to capture. To do this, I simply highlight the text and click on the highlight button. I can always come back and add some comments if I need to. For now, I just continue reading. As I'm reading, I see this image in the document, which would be extremely useful for the report I have to write on this topic. So I enable image capture by clicking on this button in the side pane. Hover over the image. This time I click on the comment button, as I would like to add a comment as well. And hit post. For each highlight, Numici inserts a link to the location in the original document from which the highlight comes. This is known as the deep link. In the next section, we'll see how useful deep links can be. I have now finished reading the set of documents in my task space and have a collection of highlights, comments, and notes. I would like to share these research results with a wider audience. Before I do that, let me take a moment to explain the task space screen you see. It consists of three panes. The leftmost pane is the task space pane. It displays all the task spaces that you either own or are a member of. The middle pane is the document pane. It displays the list of documents in the task space selected on the left. It also shows you key document attributes. So here I have a document, a PDF file uploaded to Numici, a web clip from Evernote, an email, PDF files which reside in cloud repositories such as Box, OneDrive, and Dropbox, as well as various web pages. The right pane is for reading. It displays the contents of the document selected in the document pane or the middle pane. We can expand the real estate of the right pane for easier reading. At the top of the middle pane, the document pane, you see a View Digest button. The digest is a aggregation of all the highlights, notes, and comments across the entire set of documents in a task space. A digest is always accessible to you by pressing the View Digest button. You can share the digest by clicking on the Publish button. Here you'll see a lot of configuration information. We are shortly going to release a video on digest configuration. So I'm going to focus on the sharing and publishing aspects. A digest can be shared as email. We support both Outlook and Gmail. It can be distributed as a PDF file, or it can be distributed as a Numici Notes file. A digest can also be shared on social media, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp. Another way to share a digest is by creating a link to it. You can then embed this link in emails, in intranet sites, on customer and partner facing portals. The link generated for the digest can be either private, viewable only by uh, Numici users with access to the task space, or it can be public, that is viewable by anybody who has that link. So let's copy this link and take a look at its contents, that is the digest. So as we said, a digest is the collection of all your highlights, comments, and notes across all the documents in the task space. Let's take a closer look at one element of the digest. So it consists of a highlight and its associated comments and notes, as well as the properties of the document, the title, the image, if the document has an image, a description. Every highlight also has a link to the exact location in the original document where this highlight comes from. If you remember, this was called a deep link. So when you click on a deep link, it takes you to the exact spot where this highlight is from. Now, this is extremely useful, for example, when I'm going through my notes, which is the digest, and I'm preparing a report which I have to write on this topic and I need some more context. I can just click on the deep link in the digest and be taken to the exact spot in the document and read further. The document doesn't have to be a web page. It can be a PDF file. It can be sitting in a repository such as Dropbox or Box or OneDrive. It can be a Evernote web clip or an email. It doesn't matter. When you click on the deep link, it takes you to the context where the highlight is from. Since a digest is a collection of all the highlights, comments, and notes in one place, it can serve as a foundation to create presentations and write reports. A presence in social media is important for brand building and thought leadership. To get people to click, read, and comment on the articles you post, you need an informative preview to draw them in. Numici makes this very simple. For example, here is an article on Apple's new data privacy initiative, which should be of interest to my connections on LinkedIn. To start off, I highlight the pieces of text that I need in my preview. I can also add commentary if I wish to. And post it to Numici. Then I can decide to share it on social media by clicking on this button. I choose LinkedIn. I can review and edit if necessary. before I post and send it off to LinkedIn. Then I can view my post. So this is my preview. It has the two highlights which I created as well as my comment. Let's do a quick wrap up. We installed the Numici Chrome extension. You need to do this only once. We created a Taskspace and added a web page to it. On the web page, we created highlights using snippets of text and images, as well as added comments. We reviewed the Numici Digest, saw how deep links work, and published the digest on multiple channels. And lastly, we posted an annotated web page on the social media platform LinkedIn. If you don't have an account yet, sign up for a free account at www.numici.com. That is www.numici.com. Thank you for watching.